What's up, cool people? I'm Matt Conroy. Welcome back to Forza Horizon 2, and now we're going to get started with this classic car racing series thing, whatever you want to call it. But the next racing series.
Turn left.
In between episodes, I did some minor upgrades to this car just to make sure it's at the top of its class. And then, oh yeah, I also did, I unlocked the perk that says basically you get better rewards more frequently with the wheel spins. Alrighty, rare classics. Alright, let's see how we do. This looks like it's kind of circuit race thing. Yeah, 3 laps. And it took me that long just to actually officially start lap 1. Good grief. Hopefully nothing else decides to try and come the other way out of the blue so I can at least attempt a little bit better to keep this mostly clean. I say mostly because I know there's bound to be something where somebody in front of me stops a little sooner than expected or stuff like that happens, and there goes my clean racing. But I honestly don't care that much about it. I care way more about finishing first. Aw, come on. This must be a really long car on the front end for me to have hit that. Yeah, and I think I'm pretty much just gonna own the race from here on out. I pretty much said in the last episode what my big upcoming plans were for both the, well, possibly the near future as well as the more extended future, especially going into the summer. But of course things can change, so we'll see how all that happens when it actually comes time for that. Yeah, so big takeaway, or big 2 takeaways, I guess. Maybe, I don't know. Big things you'll need to know in case you're feeling too lazy to go back and watch the previous episode and you didn't watch that one for some reason. Pretty much all you need to know is that if and when Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC comes out, I'll probably do some recordings for that, as well as really looking forward to Borderlands 3, so I might have number 2 as my next game that I alternate between. And then in terms of the summer, I'm just hoping to have a ginormous backlog so I can get to some of the rarer video types that I do, such as like outtakes and the ever elusive, haven't even done a single one of them yet, highlights of, you know, games that I've played so far. But again, we'll see what happens when it comes time. And ta-da, first place.
You're making a habit of this.
And yeah, I was that far ahead. Nobody else has even finished yet. Oh, there we go. A whopping 16 almost seconds later. Blah blah. Continue. No thanks. Alrighty, go into the world map. What do we do next? Maybe this one, because it's close by and it's another one that just goes around in a loop.
Turn sharp left.
That's a U-turn, basically. But I guess, for some reason, this game seems to count two different sides of the road separated with, like, a significant median or whatever, like this. It seems to count those as, like, two separate roads. I don't really know why. But whatever.
In 200 yards, turn left.
Let's see here. What other things could I say about me and what's going on?
You have arrived at your destination.
I think I'll wait until this loading stuff is done. Alrighty, another circuit race. Here we go. But, I know I mentioned briefly in the last episode about, like, learning some IT stuff. In case I didn't say it completely before, I'm working on getting an IT certification through this kind of online curriculum, or whatever you want to call it, through a set of online courses designed by Google. And yeah, so far, I mean, it's gone pretty well. I mentioned last episode that I'm going through it about twice as quickly as what is typically expected, I guess. Which is good, because that means I can be done with it quicker, number one. Number two, I will not have to pay as much for it then, because I've gotten done with it quicker. And number three, any possible jobs or next steps or anything like that that would happen as a result of it can come quicker. So, yeah. I'm definitely not going to argue with the rate at which I've been making progress. And it's not like I'm busting my butt too hard on it. Generally, on school days when I'm working, I'll take, like, just... Basically, I'll just take some time in my morning after I do my usual get ready for the day routine and that kind of stuff. And then I will do some work on that IT course stuff. And then I guess, you know, there are some other days where I don't do it quite like that, though. Yeah, it usually gives me about an hour each morning going by that schedule. On other days, like... take today, for example, which is a Friday, but I am not working today. I might go and take care of some other things that I gotta do, especially if it's the first day that I have off in my work cycle. That's normally my day when I go out and run errands, like, you know, getting groceries, checking my P.O. box, different things like that. And then, you know, whenever I come back here, I'll just kind of go through some stuff, and with whatever remaining time I have in the morning between when I get back from that and lunch, that's usually when I'll get started on the IT stuff. Although I think today was more like I started it kind of right around when I started getting lunch. I guess really that's kind of been the habit on most days that I have off from work. You know, I'll kind of look through the different lessons and watch the videos and stuff like that to learn the stuff as I'm eating lunch and or dinner, with maybe a little bit more splashed in there because, you know, it's a day that I have off. I've got plenty of time. Yeah, the only days I really find I have trouble making any progress on that kind of stuff are weekends when I'm working, like specifically Saturdays and Sundays, because, you know, my job here pretty much has me active like all day if I'm working a Saturday or a Sunday. I usually make sure I'm not starting my work the moment that I wake up on those days, but still, not too long afterwards, and then from then until it's time to go to sleep. Okay, there's another level up, which means I have a new wheel spin. Yay. And I'm pretty sure I earned enough credits or whatever for a new perk during that race as well. Alright, wheel spin. Let's see what I get. That's honestly the worst prize I've gotten recently. Is this thing working? Hello? Anyway, what other ones out of these might I consider? I'm not real into that. The next big thing I probably want to work towards, I don't really care that much about the fast travel. That might be nice to have, but then I gotta do one of these that I don't really care about to get there. Permanent 10% discount on all cars at the auto show. Skill multiplier can go to 6. That would also be handy. Permanent 10% discount to all upgrade parts. I would like that. So maybe I'll do this next. From banked skills in free roam. Probably go clubbed up, then discount parts, then skill legend. Yeah. Anyway, not that that really matters too much. So, we're off to the next race. This shoreline sprint right here.
In 200 yards, turn right.
Turn
right.
Yeah. Don't really know what else I have to say in terms of... I mean, I've pretty much explained all of, you know, the times and how much I'm working on all this IT stuff. I suppose I could get into some of the course content, but I don't know if y'all really care too much about that. Alrighty, so this one's a sprint, which means it's all just going in the same direction. And in case anyone has been wondering, normally what ends up being covered... Well, that's right. I got a little confused between my games for a second there, because as I've been editing stuff for Kingdom Hearts 3, I pretty much always have the webcam window thing situated up in the top left corner. Because, honestly, the only thing you really see there, the vast majority of the time, is the enemy health bars. I think. Occasionally there will be some sort of progress bar up there that I would be hiding with my webcam, but most of it isn't really that big of a deal. And in terms of this game, I just remembered, normally I'm covering the map down in the bottom left, so y'all can see what position I'm in, how much progress I've made in the particular race, or as it might be like with the last two races, which lap I'm on. I figure the map isn't that important to see the majority of the time, because you can see the arrows and where I'm supposed to go based on that anyway. But yeah, I was starting to think all like, oh yeah, in case you're wondering, I'm covering up the progress bar and that kind of stuff. But no, that's what I would be doing if I edited these videos like I did with Kingdom Hearts 3. But that's not how I'm running this. I do tend to kind of tailor my editing a little bit to the game, especially in terms of what corner I place the webcam in. Or, as was the case with Oxenfree, I don't think I put the webcam in there hardly at all, other than, like, when I was doing intros and outros for those episodes. Which, honestly, I don't know. I think in a game like this, it might be... Well, I don't know. What do you think? Are there certain kinds of games where it helps more than others to have the webcam in place and be able to see, you know, my reactions and what I'm looking at? I don't know. Because honestly, now that I've been editing this stuff for a while, and I've realized I could just put the webcam stuff down on the purely audio track in my editing program, I don't even necessarily need to have the webcam window itself in here. I could just have the audio from my webcam recording.
Whoa, that was intense. Well done.
Okay, I am not going to continue waiting to see how long it takes other people to finish this. Although this episode, the way it's going, is probably going to wind up being a little bit shy of the typical 30-minute mark. Sure, I'll give the design a like. I imagine whoever probably took the time to make that design has probably moved on to Forza Horizon 4 by now. East Harbor Street Race, okay. Oh, man.
400 yards, turn right. Turn right.
I
In 200
don't know if I would really
turn left.
consider that a turn, but oh well.
Left. In 200 yards, turn right.
Dang, lots of
Turn
twists and
right.
turns around here. There's an XP board coming up. Is it gonna be... well, whatever. I don't care that much about hitting it now.
In 400 yards, turn left.
I will say, I have quite enjoyed playing this game for the most part. And so I wonder if after I finish my recordings and all that kind of stuff, you know, with getting through the main, I'm going to air quote, story of the game, if after I get through all that, I might just go around and try and do all the bucket lists.
You have arrived at your destination.
Because, honestly, the last open world game that I've played where I felt like I really wanted to go through and, you know,
Okay, mate, focus. You
do some extra
race.
stuff.
Win this next one, and the championship is yours.
If I'm remembering right, it was probably Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Which, honestly, I just wanted to feel like I had control of, like, the whole area before I finished that up and considered myself done and removed it from my hard drive. That makes me wonder if Borderlands 3 might end up being open world. I don't know. So far, none of their games have been. Well, that's a bit debatable. Like, they haven't fit the typical mold of an open world game concept. But at the same time, there's a lot of going back and forth between different areas, you know, to take care of different side quests and things like that. Whoa. Okay. So, I don't know, like, I guess when I tend to think of open world games, I think more so of ones where it's like, you can look at a map of absolutely everything, and based on that, you could see kind of like where the different missions and activities and things like that would take place. And Borderlands, at least to this point, has definitely not been open world in that way. Okay. I'm thinking I've got a comfortable lead in this race, but I don't think I'm exactly dominating it either. Because I could just barely see for a little bit the car behind me on the mini-map. Because it doesn't help when it gives me suggestions to brake in certain places, and I really don't need to. But whatever. No big deal. Ta-da.
Brilliant, mate. Just brilliant. You're really starting to pick up a following.
Yeah, that time it was only like a 5-second difference.
That's another championship in the bag. You're really starting to attract a following.
Champion wins 6 more to unlock the finale. Okay. Alright. Wow, really? The one that it was suggesting had finished, I think it said 0.032 seconds? Sooner than me? Oh, man.
Okay, that was the last championship of this road trip, which brings our time at Nice Messena to a close. Meet up at the hub and we'll set off back to the festival for the awards party.
Alrighty. So, I think that's probably going to do it for this episode. I'll probably work my way around to that XP board in between. But then I guess we'll do this in the next episode at the start of it. But it seems like that is pretty much just going to take me back to the main, like, central festival plaza area, or whatever you want to call it, to see what's up next. I don't know. Whatever. We'll get there when we get there. Anyway, that's all for now. So, as always, like, share if you enjoyed, subscribe to my channel, click the bell to get updates when I post new stuff on YouTube. You can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Info's down in the description for all that. And underneath that, leave a comment with your thoughts on this game, other games you want me to play, things you'd maybe like to see more of. I don't know. Whatever it is, let me know down below. That's it. I hope you're all doing well. Hopefully I'll see you in the next episode. But until then, stay cool, people.